Today on Judge Faith, Detroit neighbors battle over unpaid medical bills after a vicious dog attack.
I turn around and he's right there and he's jumping for me. And I'm thinking, please don't let him grab my throat. Please don't let him get to my face.
It's been a crazy year for me too as well. And I had got shot and I was down off work for 4 months.
You'd been warned. Where's the dog now?
And later, former friends disagree over the use of credit cards that resulted in disputed charges.
There's restraining orders on this woman. She's a prior two-time felon, prostitute, heroin user, and drug addict.
I talked to a detective over the phone, and she said there's records of her doing this type of stuff before.
I prosecuted identity theft cases in the Manhattan DA's office, and I'm going to decide the case based on the evidence and the proof submitted in court.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Kevin USHERY says the defendant's dog viciously attacked him and left permanent scars on his arm. He's suing for doctor's bills and pain and suffering. Defendant Mike Williams says he doesn't know because the dog was doing his job and Kevin put himself in harm's way.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of USHERY versus Williams.
Thank you, Juan. Kevin USHERY?
Yes, Judge.
You were suing the defendant Mike Williams?
Yes.
For $1,000 for doctor's bills and pain and suffering as a result of a dog bite?
That is correct.
And it was your dog, sir?
Yes.
That was involved in the incident? Okay.
Yes.
Well, give me some background. How do you know Mr. Williams?
Mike has been my neighbor for about 6 years, 5 or 6 years.
He's still your neighbor now?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
They moved in, and they seem like pretty nice people, pretty good neighbors. I had a Presser Canary, which is a Spanish Mastiff. About a year later, Mike went and got a same kind of breed dog.
But we're here because of an incident with your dog?
Yes.
Okay, what's his name?
Tank.
Tank, okay. Let me see a photo.
That's when he was 4 weeks.
That's at 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's almost 2 years.
He's a mixed breed?
Yes.
Mixed with what? That's a pit bull and what?
Bull Mastiff.
Why did you have the dog? Did you feel that you needed a dog for protection?
Exactly. Yes.
Why is that?
I mean, me and my mom, we stay together. You know, I go to work 12 hours. At the time, I was going to work 12 hours a day. She needed somebody there. She fell in love with the dog. Actually, it was a gift to my mother.
Okay.
And, you know. And,
you all live in Detroit?
Yes.
So on this date in question, because this was a pretty violent incident from what I've read in your papers, give me the date. What happened?
Well, this was on August 24th. And
What happened?
this was actually the second incident. The first incident, his dog, he used to get out pretty regularly.
So the dog got out on multiple occasions. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, and you didn't do anything about it?
Yes, I tried to secure the gate as much as I could.
Try is not enough.
Coming up, the neighbors disagree about which person should pay the medical bills.
It just was traumatic. Blood just squirted everywhere.
Why haven't you paid $800 in medical bills? Why does he have to sue you for that?
And later, former friends fire accusations at each other over disputed credit card charges.
They sit in their apartment 24 hours a day, marinating on how to abuse the system.
My husband told me not to befriend her. He had a gut feeling that it just wouldn't be right.
Her husband's a Nazi.
Okay, calm down.
Plaintiff Kevin USHERY says Mike's dog left permanent scars on his arm. He's suing for doctor's bills and pain and suffering. Defendant Mike Williams says he doesn't know because the dog was doing his job and Kevin interfered.
So what happened on this day, sir?
This was the main reason why I told him that they need to get rid of the dog.
Oh, you told him that?
Numerous occasions I told him he needed to get rid of the dog.
So when you told him he should get rid of the dog several times, his response was what?
We gonna train the dog, man.
So what happened on August 24th? Things got really serious.
Yes, on August 24th, I would say a month before that, we had guys in our neighborhood. For some reason, I don't know why they didn't like Mike, but they came to his house after they moved and they broke into his house. They went through the window, and I guess they didn't know that Tank was inside. And I come home, and I just see blood everywhere. I mean, it looks like a murder scene. I have bloody fingerprints, handprints all over his wall, the side of his door.
You went to his house and he saw this?
Yes. After that incident, I told Mike, you have to get rid of the dog. If you see what he's did, he has blood all over the place. He's going to be in bloodlust. He has a taste of human blood now, so he's going to be vicious. On the 24th, my neighbor across the street gives me a call because he didn't have Michael's number. He said, man, someone's breaking in Michael's car. It was the same guys. I threw on my robe, nothing on under it, just thinking I'm just going to go outside and see the guys running away or something. So I did that. My other neighbor comes out. The guys take off. They get in the car. They take off running. I go knock on his door. I tell his mom, hey, someone just tried to break in Mike's car. His lights are still on. His door is open. And he comes running out the house. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? And he closes the door, but he doesn't fully close the door. And next thing you know, Tank comes busting out the house, like full steam, down the walkway. And so I jump back, my robe flies open, I'm exposed. So my first thought is, please don't let him grab my privates. You know, so I pull out my gun, I take a swing at him.
Where'd you get the gun from?
Well, I'm concealed permit.
But you went outside with just a robe, but you had a gun where?
We stay in Detroit, you know. Somebody's breaking in the car, I'm going outside with my weapon.
Okay.
So I put that in my pocket, you know, and I take a swing at the dog. The dog, I hit him in the head, and he flies by me. He grabs the back of my robe, and he's shaking and grabbing my robe. So I take him and I swing him around me, and I shoot him. It hit him in the back leg, and he turned around and he looked like, what was that? And he just immediately rushed me in the face. And I fell back over a boulder that my neighbor had in the front of his yard, and the dog is on top of me. And all I'm thinking is, please don't let him grab my throat. Please don't let him get to my face. And he had this huge collar on, so I grabbed the collar and I rolled him off of me and pushed his head to the ground. But he looked up at me, and I looked down at him, and he just grabbed a hold and locked on my arm. And it just was traumatic. Blood just squirted everywhere.
Judge Jenkins, I think what really threw my dog to him, my neighbor told me he went and closed my door. My dog...
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Stop. Your dog has gotten out multiple times.
Yes.
Multiple times. He's asked you many times to get rid of the dog for these reasons. There is no excuse.
Okay.
There's no excuse. I understand that dogs do what dogs do, but this is a situation where you've been warned. Why haven't you paid $800 in medical bills? That's what he's asking you for. Why haven't you paid that? Why does he have to sue you for that?
Well, it's been a crazy year for me, too, as well. And I had got shot, and I was down off work for 4 months.
I'm sorry, I can't feel any sympathy for you.
I understand.
I can't. This is your dog.
Right.
Where's the dog now?
I had put him down after that.
Well, you had to. Let me see the photos of your injury, sir.
Yeah, that's my arm there.
You're only suing for $200 for pain and suffering?
I'm not trying to break the guy. You know, I'm trying to be fair to him. But like I explained to him, they should have had homeowners insurance.
You didn't have homeowners insurance?
Yes, I believe.
Because that's
can't
what
recall.
normally happens is, unfortunately, when
They didn't have
dogs bite, people go through their homeowner's insurance to pay for damages. You have that scar on your arm now?
Yes, I do. And
May
you
I
know,
see the scar?
Sure. You know, I show people this, and I never could understand when you would see on the news somebody got attacked and killed by dogs. And that's just it goes all the way around.
This is serious. That's a serious scar. He's only asking for $200. This is what we're going to do because you had several warnings to do the right thing, and you didn't. Because you kept saying that you were going to take care of it, you were going to train him, and you didn't. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff $1,000 in pain and suffering, in addition to the $800 in his medical expenses. Frankly, if I were you, I would have asked for the max. $1,800 judgment for the plaintiff.
Well, I just felt that I actually was going to become a victim of a killer dog. I felt like the guy's feeling Cujo, I guess. And I actually thought that he was going to rip my throat out, and I'm very happy to be here today.
Oh, I apologize, about my dog, injuring him. I'm full aware of everything, It's just, I apologize for everything,
We're always interested in what you have to say about our cases. Write us with your thoughts or comments. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or my Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you.
Plaintiff Gloria Eckert says the defendant stole her identity and got credit cards in her name. She's suing for unauthorized credit card charges and pain and suffering. Defendant Lisa Lawler says she doesn't know because she never had access or made charges on Gloria's credit cards without her consent.
Gloria Eckert,
Yes, Your Honor.
you were suing the defendant Lisa Lawler
Correct.
for $5,000. $3,500 of that is for unauthorized credit card charges and $1,500 for pain and suffering?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you tell me about your case, ma'am? How do you know Miss Lawler and how did these instances occur?
I think it was in May.
May of this year.
Yes.
So recently.
Yes.
And the two of you have been pretty friendly up until you say she stole information and got a credit card in her name?
Well, I've been married for 11 years, and my husband told me not to befriend her. For
Why?
some reason, he had a gut feeling that it just wouldn't be right.
Okay. Why don't you give me some background, Miss Lawler, and you'll have an opportunity to defend the allegations in the lawsuit. But what has your relationship been like with Miss Eckert prior to this case?
Well, I moved into Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. They sit in their apartment 24 hours a day, marinating on how to abuse the system, you, the county, Section 8. There's restraining orders on this woman. She's a prior two-time felon, prostitute, heroin user, and drug addict.
Okay, calm down.
I'm angry because it's not true.
Okay,
Her husband's a Nazi.
Listen, calm down. I want to hear from Miss Eckert. I want to hear what proof she has to prove the allegations she's made in this case. And I'm going to decide the case based on the evidence and the proof submitted in court, not based on who's the loudest. I'm going to base my decision based on the evidence. So just calm down, calm down.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the story of the stolen credit card gets even more complicated.
Her address was on a credit card that was sent to me.
Who else lives with you besides your daughters?
My dog, Oliver. Maybe he signed for it. I don't know. I worked during the day.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Plaintiff Gloria Eckert says Lisa stole her identity. She's suing for unauthorized credit card charges and pain and suffering. Defendant Lisa Lawler says she doesn't know because Gloria's making false accusations.
Miss Eckert, what happened?
The way I found out that she was actually doing identity theft is because her address was on a credit card that was sent to me. It was my name with her address.
Can you show me a copy of a statement with your name and her address?
Yes.
Okay, show me that. Just give me the stack of papers. There are two letters from American Express. They're both sent to your apartment, but they're in her name. Who else lives with you besides your daughters?
I have a 13-year-old. I have a 19-year-old.
Okay.
No husband. And my dog, Oliver, maybe he signed for it. I don't know. I worked during the day.
Did you go to the police and make a report about identity theft?
Yes.
And what did the police say? Was the defendant arrested?
No. I talked to a detective over the phone, and she said there's records of her doing this type of stuff before.
Have you ever been arrested for identity theft?
I have not been arrested for identity theft ever, Your Honor.
You seem to be outraged. There's a reason why you're here, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I have at least two letters in front of me where credit card companies have sent information to your apartment number. You understand? But it's in her name.
She wanted to leave her husband, Your Honor.
Okay,
she begged me
that doesn't make any sense
to go to
me.
Utah because her mom was
That's a lie.
dying and stay with her mom where she'd gone before. He wouldn't let her go.
What else do you have? Were there charges made on your credit card?
My Discover.
Okay.
I went with her to make purchases, but the first thing happened is she paid off my credit card for $2,981.
What do you mean she paid it off?
She told me, pull over. I was taking her to the pharmacy. Pull over. I want to help you out. I'm going to pay off your credit card.
Oh, so you went and charged $2,900 worth of stuff on your Discover card.
Yes, because I thought she had paid it off.
And you found out what later?
That she reversed paying it off, and they said I owed $29.81 again.
Were you with her when she made those purchases, or are you saying that she had your number?
I was with her some of the time.
I see that there are 2 returned phone payments, one for $29.80 and one for $5.75. Did you pay off this money on this Discover card and then have that payoff reversed?
Yes, I reversed it because she lied to me.
And then there were charges
but
made.
let me ask you about that. That's not fraud. For you to say you're going to pay off a friend's credit card and then you change your mind, that's not fraud.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
You know, I prosecuted identity theft cases in the Manhattan DA's office, and they're not easy cases to prove, especially in this case because there are 2 elements to this. One, you're saying that she applied for these credit cards and had them sent to her address in your name. Her defense is that you were the one that applied for these credit cards and had them sent to her apartment because you didn't want your husband to know you were trying to get credit. Just put that aside for a second. You're suing for $3,500 in unauthorized credit card charges. And you want me to look at statements that you've provided. Now, some of these charges are in dispute. Others, you say that the company, for example, Discover, denied your claim because you were with the defendant when some of these purchases were made. The problem you have is a proof problem. Whenever I had these cases in the DA's office and we had someone who, when my identity was stolen last year, somebody went into Target and purchased $400 worth of stuff using a credit card. You know what the detective had to do? They had to go to Target, pull up the video, look at the timestamp of when the purchase was made, and see who the person was who made the purchase at that time. I see that someone tried to get a card sent to their address because, according to you, in these letters, she was unsuccessful in getting the cards. But then again, you want to come in and say she was also able to make these unauthorized charges, and it's just a proof problem. You have to be able to connect the dots. You don't have the evidence yet to do that. That's why she hasn't been arrested. That's why there's not a criminal case. You don't have enough yet for a criminal case. You can try to go and work with the detective to connect more of these dots, but for me, I'm not satisfied that you've come into court today and proven to me that the defendant is the one, because there are other people who live in that household. She claims that you perhaps had credit cards sent to her, and people will just steal mail. There are a number of scenarios that happen in these situations that I've seen. People are very creative these days. Identity theft is an epidemic. It is an epidemic. People are very creative. They're very crafty. And I am not satisfied in this case that you presented enough proof that it's that person right over there who made unauthorized charges on your card, and that the credit card company is holding you responsible for all of these charges, because I see several of them are in dispute. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to dismiss your case without prejudice. That means you can refile. You can refile when you get your evidence together, but you need more evidence because several things I've asked you for today, you're unable to come into court and really present a cohesive case to me as to why she's responsible. You can refile, but you have to get your paperwork together. I'm gonna tell you something, Ms. Lawler. I'm not convinced you're innocent of this. I just want you to know that. I'm saying she hasn't proven her case, but I'm not convinced you're innocent here. You understand?
Well, I am.
Well, that will be for another court to decide, and that will be for the detectives in your jurisdiction to decide when you get your evidence together. Good luck.
I don't have enough information, apparently, so I guess I have to find some more information and try again.
I'm happy, and I think they did a great job, and the truth came out.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.